You don't notice it, because that's how it works. It's quiet, subtle, harmless at first. It never shouts at you. It whispers. It folds itself into your daily routine until it feels like part of you. I'm talking about the habit that kills more dreams, relationships, and futures than fear, failure, or bad luck ever will. It's the habit of turning away from discomfort, from questions you don't want to answer, from truths you'd rather not see, and you don't realize what it's costing you. Not yet. It starts small. You tell yourself you'll speak up next time. You put off the one conversation that matters. You avoid the mirror, not because of how you look, but because of what you might see in your own eyes. And every time you turn away, you make it easier to do it again. Days become weeks, weeks become years. And one morning, you wake up as a stranger in your own life. You're still you, but a safer, smaller version. Dietrich Bonhoeffer once warned about this kind of passivity. He called it moral stupidity, the refusal to think deeply, to question, to act. Not because you can't, but because you've grown comfortable not doing so. It's easier to be carried by the current than to swim against it. But the current doesn't care where you end up. Over 2,000 years ago, Plato told us about people chained inside a cave, staring at shadows on a wall, mistaking those shadows for reality. It sounds absurd, until you realize that's us. We scroll past curated snapshots of other people's lives and swallow them as truth. We accept whatever our culture calls success without asking what success really means to us. And the longer we stay in the cave, the more any glimpse of light feels wrong, dangerous even. Because the thing about turning away is this: it makes the darkness comfortable. It convinces you that the shadows are easier than the light. Friedrich Nietzsche spoke of those who became too comfortable, the last man. The last man doesn't burn with ambition or curiosity. He coasts. He seeks pleasure over purpose. He lives safe, and dies having never truly lived. And here's the twist. Becoming the last man isn't a conscious decision. It's a slow drift you barely feel. 100 tiny choices to look away. Avoiding the book because it might challenge your worldview. Avoiding the silence because it might show you what you've been running from. Avoiding a dream because it carries the risk of failure, rejection, or loss. When you turn away to protect yourself from danger, you also protect yourself from wonder. Psychologists call it avoidance coping. Anytime a situation triggers discomfort, fear, shame, anxiety, you avoid it. You have a list of clever justifications. It's not the right time. I'll deal with it when I'm ready. It probably won't matter anyway. But deep down, you know better. Every time you choose comfort over confrontation, your tolerance for discomfort shrinks. Until one day, almost everything feels like too much. You've trained yourself to retreat, and you call it taking care of yourself. But it's really teaching yourself to live smaller and smaller. Niccolo Machiavelli once wrote, "Men are driven by two principal impulses, either by love or by fear." Most people think fear means the fear of losing something they already have. But there's a quieter, deadlier fear, the fear of discovering a truth that would require you to change. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then the burden is on you to do something about it. Turning away lets you delay that reckoning, but it keeps you stuck exactly where you are. Every time you avoid something you know matters, you send a message to yourself, "Well, I can't handle this." You may not hear those words, but you feel them. And over time, they erode your trust in yourself. You start doubting your ability to handle risk, conflict, or change. You outsource your decisions to other people. And eventually, you stop deciding at all. You live reactively, not intentionally. Your life becomes something that happens to you, just as the habit of turning away is built choice by choice. The habit of turning toward can be built the same way. It doesn't start with changing everything overnight. It starts the next time you feel that small pull to avoid something and doing it anyway. The call you've been putting off, the thought you've been drowning in noise, the truth you've been scared to say out loud. Choose one, face it. The first time will feel like hell. but it will also feel like something breaking open inside you. The discomfort you've been avoiding? It's the same place your freedom lives. You won't find yourself by thinking about it. You'll find yourself by turning toward what terrifies you and realizing you didn't break. You bent. You shook. You maybe even cried. But you stayed. And in that staying, you'll find a strength that cannot be given to you by comfort. It can only be earned in fire. Subscribe to Echo Praxis for ideas that don't just inspire, they challenge you to face what you've been avoiding. So be honest. What have you been avoiding? And what is it doing to you? If you keep turning away, what will the cost be 10 years from now? Will you even recognize yourself? Plato's prisoner could have stayed in the cave. Nietzsche's last man could have lived forever in numb safety. Bonhoeffer could have kept silent. But they didn't. And neither should you. Turn toward the thing you fear. Step into the light, even if it blinds you. Especially if it blinds you. Because the habit you least want to break is probably the one that will save your life.